Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of The Runs with me, Gareth Blackwell, and my co-host Nicky Playo. Second episode, teething problems. I lost the start of the recording of the episode. So here we are. Thank you for coming back. We hope you enjoy. And Nick, we've had some feedback this week.
Yeah, I had good positive feedback from a few people, and nice to always hear that. And yeah, thanks to everyone that listened, and a few bits of pointers and advice for us as well. That was always handy because obviously it's new for us. So yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, you're in bigger running circles than me, really, you know, because like we know by now I'm inconsistent and you're uncoachable, but you do a bit more running than me, so it's good to get feedback from runners and non-runners as well, because that's what we want it to be, a little bit about, a bit of everything for a bit of everyone.
Yeah, it was obviously, like you said, a couple of the club members that said a few nice words to me, and a couple of the other boys down the pub, just not even runners, have even listened and tuned in and said they enjoyed. So let's hopefully keep that going.
Yeah, any like newfound fame, strangers dropping you in the street, you're the guy off our podcast?
No, not yet. I haven't.
No, neither have I, but you know what?
Yeah.
My brother has.
No.
Someone in work said to him, how long have we been doing a podcast then?
Did you have to sign any autographs?
We have it all the time, like it's mad. He'll be sitting on a train and people will come and sit by him. People will come and sat by him and spoke to him on a train all the way to Cardiff. And
thinking it's you.
Not a Scooby, like. And he just has a conversation and he'll text me, said, I just spoke to someone for 20 minutes thinking it was me, thinking it was you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And we got the same parents, obviously, but we don't look the same. Everyone else says we do, don't they? But I don't know. But yeah, so Alan is lapping it up.
You don't think we do look similar?
I don't know. But I think my social media usernames don't help either, really. I imagine there's a bit of confusion with that. But yeah, so Alan has had a bit of newfound fame. Congratulations, Al. Enjoy it. Lap it up. What else do we want to touch on? Yeah, 15. He's back running as well. It's good.
Yeah, good man. I did see a couple of things on Strava now and again with him, so that's good.
Inspiration, isn't we? Ben Keogh, since he listened to the podcast, I heard the council outside his house the other day replacing the tarmac. He's been tearing it up.
I don't think he's ventured outside yet, though. He's just treadmill.
Yeah, he's going to go out tomorrow. Today, we'll check after this if he's been out.
He will. Have a look on the leaderboard. The
leaderboard, Strava leaderboard. Everyone's getting, I don't think anyone's actively getting involved. They're just out running and joining the group. But it's quite fun, quite humbling to watch that ticking over for me as well. I'm thinking about putting my Strava back on to get involved in my own group as well. So I think I'll knock that back on, maybe start next week. See if I can do 110k in a week like Ollie, is it?
Yeah, get him on stick. Yeah, Ollie was leader last week, was he? What did he do, 110k?
110, I think, yeah.
Fair play. Yeah, Ollie Bartlett, he's doing Malaga Marathon, which I think is in 2 weeks. So, yeah, he's obviously pounding it out now and in good shape, the looks of his training.
Yeah, flying. There we are. Happy days. What about you? How's your training gone this week? What have we been doing?
Just started today. Had a couple of cross-country races the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, it's gone all right the last couple of weeks. It's been enjoying it. Bit of fun, bit of different stuff, cross-country. I do enjoy it. It's hard, but a bit different to what I usually do rest there. So that's been good. Muddier, innit? Have you got like a boot buddy for your cross-country shoes? I haven't got a boot buddy, no. Not a sponsor we could reach out to. Boot buddies. No, I just use a bowl of water and a rag, mate. Old school. Some very liquid, like. Yeah, but I don't clean them straight away. That's like 2 weeks later when I go to the next race. It's like, shit. You get one of them, like, the rough brushes, isn't it? They're really good. I do the same by mistake, really. I just get dirty and I chuck them out the garden. And then when you go and grab them, they go there. Dry mud, haven't they? And just brush them when it comes off. Crust of mud on them. Still probably wet inside. Hanging. Happy days. Newport, they booked Newport now. That's done. So we spoke about that on the last episode. Explain that now. The city half, innit? Not the marathon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did I say marathon? Yeah. I'm not ready for marathon. You said Newport. Some people get confused with the marathon when they're in April. Yeah, Newport, end of March, Newport City Marathon. Beginning beginning.
Is it? I'm running out of
Beginning
time.
of March the 3rd, Newport City half. Yeah, I'm thinking of entering that as well. I'm probably looking at what I'm planning. I think I might be jumping in that as well.
It's like they read our minds or listened to the podcast as well, because I paid 10 or less for an entry without a finisher's tee.
The tea, I know that you did say. You mentioned to me that. See, they listened to us already.
I know, 10. That's ridiculous, outrageous. That is.
Well, it's a lot, isn't it? Like you say, I'd rather, probably pay 10 or less. And some races, like I said, I would like the tea. Not all the time.
No, like the majors and stuff, you go, and if they're made by reputable, but Cardiff Half just says 2XL on my t-shirts every time I get them. There's nothing else on the inside. I think it's what the bananas have been delivered in, and they just unwrap them and give them out as t-shirts as well. So that's booked. Been training for that. I've enjoying training. Still going. Accountability showing up. I've been showing up for a month now, I think. So getting about 80% of the sessions done.
Going well, mate. Going well. That's a good start. Especially this time of year, winter, mate. It's not the best time.
It's cold. It's so cold. Like, it's not so cold when you get out. It's only been frosty one morning, I think. It's just getting out of bed is the task, isn't it?
That's the thing, but the hardest bit, getting up out the door.
There we are. And you have got good fridge for London as well again?
Yes. Sadly, I don't know if everyone knows, but it didn't get the Tokyo ballot after, so that was getting last week. It was a bit of a downer all week, but then yesterday evening I had the finally off London, good for each spot. So luckily enough, I've got that to fall back on and go up to London and do that again. So it's something now to aim for, I suppose, early in the year. Well, early, say it's end of April, but yeah, it's a target marathon for then, no?
Does that build a case for Tokyo or anything as well then? Or Tokyo is just luck of the draw next year now, is it?
It's relevant, mate. It's luck of the draw. Like I say, with most of them, you've got a chance if you can run quick enough in your age category. You get a good for age place, it's called in London. It's different on all the other ones. It's BQ, Boston call it, New York call it something else, so on. But yeah, so no, Tokyo, like I say, I looked into it a bit more, and yeah, it's just no other thing I can do. The only thing I could do is the original first ballot, charity ballot, is offered to pay a stupid amount, but I'm going to have to weigh that up next year when we get there.
Yeah. Or just don't book it, turn up, and refuse to not run it.
Yeah.
Or run it on the pavements alongside the route.
And at the end, the medal.
Unofficial, yeah. Right, we got a guest on this week as well. Do you want to tell him who the guest is? I'll send him the link now.
Yeah. So this week, club teammate of mine from Ogmore Phoenix and also Sunday Club bunny, Nicky Bennett, has agreed to come on and chat to us about his running journey and what he loves about it, what he hates about it, and how he got into it, etc. So we'll get him on now.
I've sent him the invite. Hopefully, I don't know if he's gone for a nervous poo or anything, but he hasn't gone on to Blue Ticks yet. Hopefully, he comes on shortly. But Nicky's been, he's had a bit of a glow up, hasn't he, the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, we get into it with him now and speak to him about it. But yeah, the last few years, he's gone mentally quick. He's smashing it out, fair play to him, and pushing himself and getting up there with the fast boys.
Here we go.
Can you hear me?
Nicky Bennett.
Yes, we got you.
Oh, God. What have I signed myself up to?
We'll be fine.
Nothing, mate.
How's it going?
No, you're right. Good? Yeah. Good? Yeah.
Strong moustache, Nick?
Huh?
Strong moustache?
No, it's not. It's not. It's really not that good. It doesn't get any better every year I do it. The problem is, right? Look at the middle. It's missing. The middle's bloody missing. And what's it called? The amount of people who said to me on Sunday were like, "Oh, look at your tash. Where's the freaking middle gone?" I'm like, "Not a lot I can do, but that is it."
Leave the middle. Go in and tapas.
Yeah, let me try and hang on. Let me try and move you. I'll move me there or something.
You're all good. You good. Happy days. Nicky. Both the Nickies Should we start with cross country the last couple of weeks? You both represented.
Yeah, I just briefly mentioned in the build-up, Nick, before we joined in. But yeah, we've had 2 good cross-country races. That's what we've been up to. Talk us through them.
Yeah. You want me to do that now? Or?
Yeah, the first one up.
What about Wales? So you both represented South East Wales?
No, it's South.
It's just South Wales.
Yeah, it's just North v East v South v West.
Okay, so how do you qualify for that?
So there was the Pembrey Gwent race, wasn't it, Nick? That was the qualifier race for it. So you basically have to run that to be kind of within a shout. Otherwise, you're kind of reliant upon like a wild card. And obviously, the wild card situation is kind of based upon like who you know and who your friends are, etc. So if you run that and you run a half decent run, which the pair of us did, then you're kind of within a shout. So I think we were both like, I think there was 15, max 15 a team, and we were both auto-selected for it. So you kind of get in that way, basically.
On that day down in Pembrey, which is a Gwent League race, and also these as a qualifier, you got your age categories. If you come in the certain top, however many, you'll get an invite to the inter-regions, which we both lucky enough to have run quick enough on the day and went up there. And what was it like, Nick, that course? And
the worst I've ever run. In terms of bogginess and muddy, is the worst I've ever done. And I haven't done that many because I haven't been running for as long as other people, but that was a massive eye opener in terms of that's the race that's basically going to make me buy a pair of spikes because I'm not going to be able to get away with it going forward now. No chance.
It was mad. It was like ankle deep for most of it, and then parts of it were just up to your shins, like wading through it in like a couple of small patches. But a great day and great fun, wasn't it? It was good.
Yeah. You see like Blackie, you might have seen like, the ones where you see like on the UK, like the Parliament Hill ones in England, whatever, where it is literally like ankle deep mud, and that's where England have like their national champs. It was just like that. It was just as bad. Because obviously the weather's been so poor, isn't it, the last couple of weeks? And that just don't help. Lovely.
So cross country just fills the gap, does it? Throughout the kind of winter.
From my point of view, it does. Yeah, it's kind of like the majority of the races we end up doing in the winter and the autumn are kind of off-road stuff. We obviously have the BCRL League in Bridgend in summer, but that is the majority of those courses are technically cross-country, but because the weather is much better in the spring and the summer than it is the autumn and the winter, the terrain is never as bad. Do you mean like the majority of people who run them will run in like road shoes because it's just like flat grass, isn't it? Do you mean?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it's the closest thing. Nick, you probably agree with me on this, but like it's the closest thing we get in running in terms of like a team event.
Yeah.
Because it's more cross country is more about how the team does rather than the individual. I mean, all of the leagues that we're in, there's no prizes for coming first, second, third. There's no individual prizes.
No medals.
It's more around how your team does.
No coasters.
You need.
No medals, no coasters. It's all on the team. The team standings and whatever division you're in, where you finish that division. So that is good. Like Nicky just said, it's good for us to like try and get as many members as we can there. Nicky pushes in more than me, obviously, and it's more. You feel more of a part of the team and more of a responsibility to turn up and run well.
Yeah, you do definitely.
There we are. Not last week as well. So the stripy vest was South Wales. I quite like that vest.
Yeah.
And last week was back to Ogmore in the Knoll.
Yeah.
That didn't look very nice either.
It's not pancake flat. Like.
No, I know. I know that from first-hand experience of this park run. It's the only park run that's 400 kilometers long, I think.
You didn't enjoy that.
I hated the Knoll. I think that's where I started to go downhill again and eventually stopped running. I'll never run the Knoll ever again.
Yeah, I've never done the park run around there, but obviously Nick was telling me about it on Sunday that it's very much a looped course.
It's not for me. Cross country. No. So, Nicky Bennett, how long have you been running?
Yeah. Oh, how long do I say I've been running?
Yeah, well, I had a deep dive through your Strava. So you tell me how long you've been running, and I'll tell you how long you've been running.
So I kind of, when people ask me this, is like I kind of refer to, like, I used to do the odd runs once or twice a week, etc. before I went to my first park run.
Okay.
But I didn't. I would never say I was addicted to it until park run number 1. So from my point of view, I would say like early 2019 is kind of where I really got into it. But you will probably see, if you've been trawling through my stats or whatever, you will see that I've done the odd race or two before then as well.
Yeah, but since 2019, you've considered yourself a runner.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think since I can remember back to the first park run I did, and Nick wasn't there. I have a funny feeling, Nick, and I can't remember exactly, but I have a funny feeling you might have been doing a marathon that weekend or something like that. Anyway,
was it the first My Stag one?
Yeah, so my first park run was up My Stag. Yeah, so number 1 was up there.
I remember you not being able to make that.
February 19th.
Yeah,
February 19th.
I don't know where you were, but I remember because Nicky campaigned for it for months and months, and then I think I remember you being quite annoyed that you couldn't make the first one then.
Yeah. Their campaign, I just wanted a local park run on my doorstep.
Yeah, he wasn't walking around town with placards.
Yeah, didn't have to drive to the school. Had nothing to do with it. I mean, the other team that put it on, Nicky will testify, they're there week in, week out, rain, hail, shine.
Yeah. I do remember, Nick, that like when I first started going up there was a spell of time which, you obviously talked before about like how you're away with work, etc. a lot of the time. There was a spell of time where you didn't do it for something like 6 months because you were either training for something or you were just away with work all the time.
Yeah, there was, I think it might have been a year, I can't remember. There was like, I'd done about 10 in a year. It was ridiculous.
You literally hardly made an appearance up there. Something like that.
Yeah, I think that was when all the fast boys turned up to take you patch and you went into hiding, wasn't it?
He tells me stories about how it used to be Nicky Pulio versus Rowan Hobbs.
That was regular occurrence, yeah.
Rowan used to always beat me, in fairness.
Yeah, I remember.
But Black. So like when I go back, it's like So start of 2019 is when I proper kind of got into it, etc. Yeah.
Okay, so where do we go from there? How many Cardiff Halves have we done? Because we did. You Cardiff Half was a big push for this year. That was target, my understanding from your socials.
Yeah.
So when was your first Cardiff Half?
So I've done it. I'm telling you, go. So I did it. I did it when I was 21 in 2014.
Are we not counting that?
I did.
Are we counting that?
Yeah.
What time was that?
2 hours 14, something like that.
You can smile if you want, but that's still faster than I've ever done it.
Yeah, so like 2 hours 14, it bonked at like 8 miles and just
yeah.
We did it through work. We did it through work for a charity. We did it for 10 of us, I think, 10 of us cancer care. So I kind of said at the time, I was like, why not? I'll give it a bash. And I think the more annoying thing with that day was I think I did my last kind of like longest training run like 2 weeks before. And I did like 12 miles in under 2 hours. So I would run quicker 2 weeks before than I did actually on the day, something like that. So, yeah.
But now you know how to manage with training and everything, I guess, now, isn't it? It's all been...
Training is key. Yeah.
What did you do this
Training is key. Yeah, so I've done it. So I've done it in 14, 19, did it twice in 22 because it was the delayed one in the March.
Yeah, I thought you went around twice. Then. Do a second lap.
Twice in 2022, one in the March and one in the October.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, so 5 times, yeah.
And how fast is it this year?
1:13:54.
Just like an hour faster than the first time.
Yeah, so those who know me will know that was my goal for last year.
Okay.
March last year. I kind of wanted to do it around an hour quicker than I did it in 2014. And I missed it by 2 minutes.
We'll get on to the importance of those little... Because 2 minutes to me is like, 2 minutes. But we know that it's important to actual runners, seconds and milliseconds and minutes, right?
100%.
How did you take it down an hour?
Well, I mean, obviously, like we just said, I kind of properly got into it in like 2019. Obviously, when you get into it, you start training more, you start doing the right sort of stuff, etc. I mean, like I said, is like I kind of dabbled with a little bit of running before 2019. Like I used to do the odd race and maybe run on the treadmill in the gym a lot, but nothing like you that I do now in the last couple of years, etc. So I think just a combination of just training and like, you know, we might come on to talk around like parkrun, etc. in how it works in the future, but you know, parkrun to me when I first got on board was my weekly kind of like barometer to see where I am in terms of like, okay, start at this time and then chip weight it, etc., etc. And then obviously over time, then you use that then to kind of gauge yourself in terms of like, so this is what I could be able to do now at 10K, at half, etc., and marathons if you're into that. So yeah, I mean, just a combination of just training, etc. Like I joined the club then, joined Ogmore in September, I think it was September 19, something like that. And it's just kind of rolled and snowballed away from there then, effectively.
Yeah.
Just kept progressing.
Yeah. I think that, you know, I don't want to sound like a cliche, but it's like people say the consistency is key, and it is. You've got to
it is in everything you do, isn't it?
Yeah, you've just got to be consistent in your training. You can't just have these peaks and troughs all the time. If you get a consistent base behind you, then it makes a lot of you'll just naturally progress over time. I found anyway.
Yeah, and then you'll digress really fast as well, like I've done as well, because like we said last week, I've run 5K in 23 minutes, and then when I had like a gap, maybe only 6 months, and then it's back up to 30 minutes before you know it.
Yeah. I think it's one of the biggest frustrations that people I know tend to have is like when people get injured or when people get ill, they immediately go down the rabbit hole of, oh my God, I've lost all my fitness, etc. But you never really lose it from my experience anyway, because like a lot of last year for me was difficult. I had niggles, injuries, etc. And you don't really lose it. You just lose it and then you unlock it. Do you know what I mean? Like you just kind of, you got to unlock it again.
Pump it back up.
Come back.
Yeah, a lot of it is mental with that as well. It's like you just mentally think that you've lost that fitness, and you like the first 5K you go back feels so hard. So mentally, then it can be a barrier to try and get over again.
Back. It's the same as like when I go back. If you go back a stone heavier, you don't consider that stone as something that's weighing you down and slowing you down as well. And you still think, well, I should still be able to do that 23 because I've done it before. But I'm also a stone heavier, so I've got to add some time on for that as well, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next then, Nick? What's 2024?
Well, we start with 2023 first, in the sense of me and Nick are doing Telford 10.
Yeah, you got Telford 10. When's that now?
That's the 10th of December.
Is that a big race then, or is that what you guys are just leaning into at the moment?
I mean, it's a big race in terms of the field, like in terms of the amount of people who do it and the quality involved in it. It's a big race. I mean, it wasn't, go back 3 months ago, it wasn't on my original plan of races to do. I think Swansea Bay for me back in September went so well that I was like, oh, okay, maybe I need to give another crack at this sooner rather than later. And obviously, a couple of the boys who, you know, the likes of John, etc., who kind of are already signed up to do it, were like, oh, we'll get involved in this and give it a bash. And we were like, okay, why not? You know, it doesn't clash with any of the races, it doesn't clash with the cross country race for the club, so why not?
Yeah, I think it's just fallen at the right time for us, isn't it? And so it's something different as well. Never been there, never done it. And it is advertised as, I think, technically the fastest 10K, because of so many people run sub 30 last year. So the fastest 10K. But that's not us. That's because of the people.
Yeah. I think the elite level for it, isn't it? Something I remember seeing it when we were trying to sign up. The elite level is you've got to have run a sub 30. And to compare that to like what we call elite runners in Wales is probably like sub 32 or whatever. Do you mean? So it's another level on top of what we already think is fast.
So that's 2023. Is that a wrap then for 2023?
Yeah, I mean, after that, then there's obviously like some of the festive races that happen between Christmas and just before Christmas and the New Year's. You've got the likes of the Postcall Lions run. You've got North Scotland. I mean, I'm not doing North Scotland, but there's the odd festive race that happen over Christmas that I'll do. But I won't be looking at it to go, oh, I've got to run this sort of time or whatever. I've kind of made up my mind already in terms of like once Telford's done and out of the way with, in terms of like structured training and sessions, etc. I won't do anything then until January, probably.
Just take over.
Yeah, just take over.
I'll be the same, just ease off. Like I say, I'll probably do a couple of festive ones. Actually, I did sign up yesterday, me and Harvey, to the Postcall Lions Boxing Day one.
Oh, it's open, is it?
It's open, yeah. I went online. Okay. Harvey reckons he's going to beat me, so that's the chance.
Harvey's flying, isn't he? Harvey's sub 19 the other day.
He's whipping round a bit now, so it could be a push for me.
Yeah.
No doubt.
What's the Lions
over the shorter distances, he might have you, Nick.
You are?
Over the shorter distances, he might have you now.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be a bit of a push for him because he's only banging out the odd 5K, so that extra...
But he's also doing that on his own. Not in a race environment.
All right, you're supposed to back me.
It's like when Simba went back to Pride Rock now, isn't it? He's come to take the rightful place as king. Harvey Playo.
Oh, God. No, it'd be good to see, actually. It'd be good to see if we...
yeah, what is that? How far is it?
It's 6.5K advertised, Dad.
Yeah. 24 miles.
You go from the high tide and back as well. So
just a run.
It's a good laugh.
Nothing festive about it. It's just on Boxing Day, is it?
On Boxing Day, yeah.
Yeah. I think the money goes towards charity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
The Lions is a society, isn't it? It's like
a charitable organisation or whatever, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Park Run. Is there a bigger advocate of My State Park Run than Nicky Bennett?
Well, I haven't done it as many times as Nicky Pulio for a start.
Yeah,
I'm not far off.
Long as me.
I'm not far off, no. I mean, well, like we were just on about, so like that's where when people talk to me about like running, when did you start running, etc. That's kind of where I refer back to is like Parkrun number 1. Do you mean that was where I got the bug for it?
Yeah.
I just think it works in so many ways for so many different people. Yeah. So there's like number 1, there's the social aspect to it, and that's the main reason why it probably draws back people like me, Nick, and loads of other people that we know. The reason why they always go up there every weekend, regardless rain or shine, it could be pouring it down, and there's people that still be up there. There's the social aspect to it that's the most important one, I would say. We mentioned earlier around like that weekly barometer to see like where you are. If you are like just starting out in running and whatever, I would honestly say like if you are just starting out and you are like a competitive person, that's kind of your ticket to kind of see like, okay, every Saturday now I'm going to push myself here and I'm going to see what time I can run. And you can use it every Saturday for free to see where you are in terms of your ability, etc., how your training's going, etc., and whatever. But it's so much more than that as well, because I met like lifelong friends, and I genuinely mean that, through Parkrun. I got into the club, the running club, through Parkrun, through knowing people there.
Yeah.
And it's just a snowball effect. Do you know what I mean? Like you get into a running club and then you just get to know other people, etc. And then you bring other people on board and say like, oh, come up to Parkrun with me. Like my best mate come up to Parkrun with me just after COVID, and now he's a member of the club and now he thoroughly enjoys it. And it's just that snowball effect. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got to be prepared to take the first step in terms of going up there and not knowing people, etc.
Yeah, it can be daunting, can't it? Especially
absolutely, yeah.
Even if you're from the stig, more so if you're from the area, I'd imagine it's a little bit more daunting as well, isn't it? But you see everyone doing it, and like I don't do my stig as much now since I moved away, but it's like everyone, loads of different people doing it, and you get the same.
Yeah.
That's
high vis
on the corner.
It's free. You just turn up, no pressure. Just walk if you want to, jog if you want to, race it if you want to. It's just such a brilliant initiative. It's not just My Stig's doing great stuff. Jay and the Aberfield, they're doing great stuff up there, getting people up over into the Ogmore Vale. We've got Puthcall, we've got loads local, and it's a good option for us. Like Nicky said, it's just turn up. You don't have to be quick. You don't have to be front end. There's just so many, and I think it's brilliant. It gets people like Nicky said, it gets so many people started and into their running journeys. It's great. Now, it gets a lot of negative as well. I've seen, a lot of people poo-poo it a bit, but for me, it's just a great initiative that the UK has started, and it's now worldwide. Just free.
Why do they poo-poo it then?
I don't know. Just a lot of people a little bit take the piss out of it because it's too relaxed in a way sometimes, I suppose. Some people don't like that. I don't know.
It's a nice little sharpener after, you know what it's like training on your own for the week as well. You need that little competitive brush as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah, exactly. There's that raging debate that always seems to happen as well between people in terms of like, is it a race? Is it not a race? I mean, you make it a race.
Always a race, isn't it?
If you want to take if you're a competitive person and you're happy to kind of push yourself on that, I did when I first started going up there every Saturday. That is what I would do. I would push myself to see how fast I could do 4 laps of the Welfare Park. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is literally what I did. But you shouldn't poo-poo people down because that's what they want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's only when I personally find that some people can become quite, it's be all and end all. Do you know what I mean? And I just think like you've got to learn to embrace it. Do you know what I mean? Not make it your be all and end all. I think the other thing I was going to mention as well is when you were talking around like how brilliant it is. I think I could speak for a lot of people where it was quite evident how much we missed it during COVID.
Yeah,
because it was something like a year and a half where we didn't have it in Wales, and that was a huge miss. I mean, it was for me personally. The fact that like it was my outlet and avenue to see people who live at my stakes, such as Nick and such as whoever. Do you mean? And other than that, you don't have that avenue unless you physically text somebody and say, "Oh, do you want to meet up for a run here or whatever?" Do you mean? And aside from that, we were missing it for 18 months or so. We just didn't have it.
Yeah, it's I think it's a good next step. Because Couch to 5K, I know so many people that have benefited from Couch to 5K as well, and I think it's a nice little next step after Couch to 5K as well. It's like an end goal for Couch to 5K is to do the local park run after it. And I often see people on my social media that mention they're doing Couch to 5K, and then 13 weeks later they're zipping around the park without any stops, like.
And I think a lot of the training programs do that. They have the graduation 5K or whatever it is. They do have it at a park run. I mean, our club, when it does its Zero to Hero campaign, it will often end with a 5K down Porthcawl Park Run. That is more often than not where the graduation happens. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's also like it's the Porthcawl Park Run, if we're going to talk about that, is like Porthcawl Park Run it's like my stay with 5 to 6 times as many people.
Yeah.
And it's been going longer. It's got a bigger local community, so to speak. And it's good
for PBs as well. Speaking from experience.
Yeah, well, it's better than my stay. It's a quicker course. But it's not the flattest course you'll get. I mean, Nick will probably vouch for me. It's not.
Yeah, that's in the middle. Take it out, deal.
Yeah.
And down there, it's always the weather down there. It could be a dumb mess.
Yeah. Once you turn around Rest Bay and you've got that false flat, then back up to where the highest point is, and then you're down then into the finish. But yeah, it's certainly a damn sight easier than my stag anyway.
There we are. Happy days. Nice one, Nick. We'll take a break now, and then we'll zoom back in for a couple of bits and bobs before we wrap it up. Right, welcome back. Nick, what's going on in Africa with Ardis Geezer?
Update this week. Well, we're 2 weeks on from our last episode, so he is now, I have to look at my notes on this to make sure, he's now into Togo, into his 9th country of the trip so far, which is just insane. He's about 9,000 Ks down with 7,000 Ks still to go. It's just
That's a lot.
His latest post, we see it, he's saying he's hoping to finish in Tunisia now in February, which I still don't see how he's going to do that, because like you pointed out on his Instagram, what's he got yet to come back?
A lot of sand.
A lot
of sand.
Which is obviously going to slow him, I'd imagine.
I had a quick try to look on Google Earth, and as you can imagine, the Google Earth kind of content on it is not fantastic either, which I think says a lot about the terrain in the first place. He's not built for being under the sun for 12 hours a day.
We know that.
But he's got to... Leachy sent me the photo, didn't he? He's got to run basically the length of New Zealand, Greece, and Italy just to get to the point where he turns and starts going up into Africa again.
He's had to divert sort of across these countries now because he couldn't go straight because of the issues he would come into going up. So he's having to do like a bit of a hook up and around, which is obviously making it harder.
Yeah.
But I did see it. He's now up to 88,000 raised, so he's getting there. He's getting obviously more profile on it, and hope he keeps going well.
Yeah. He should get on. He did. He liked. I posted about the sand the other day, didn't I? And he did like it. So he has clocked eyes on the podcast. So we keep nagging him, and maybe we'll get him on.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get him on one day if he's still going, and maybe at the end, I don't know, see if he'll got 2 minutes for us.
Yeah, just dip in and dip out, isn't it? It'd be great.
Yeah, it would.
A bit wild. He's a bit rowdy, isn't he? But I think you need to be rowdy to run the length of Africa, really, don't you?
Yeah.
Right. The importance, for you guys will know different, the importance of seconds when it comes to your finishing times and stuff like that. Minutes. Like we said the other day, Nick, 2:59.59 is sub 3. But if you had 3, 0, 0, and 1 second, there's just 2 seconds later, you're mad at yourself.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's mad. But I don't know. It's like, I think, Nick, I think it's more important shorter distances. So like 5 and 10K, definitely it's like, it comes into seconds. Like, so if you're aiming for 36:30, you want to be like under there, which is going to be sort of my aim for Telford. And I get 36:32, I'd be devastated, even though it's like 3 seconds. I'd be gutted. You know, I reckon, Nick, it's like, that's why.
No, I agree. It's when you miss out on barriers as well. So if you miss out on a barrier by a couple of seconds, so like I can give an example of that from this year. Nick was there. I think he was you might be a bit worse for wear, Nick, but Race for Victory. He was there on the last corner, and so going into that race. So I kind of set myself a goal of I'll have a stab at sub 16 or whatever.
Yeah.
And got over the line, stopped my watch. Didn't really know where I was at the time because it was such a hard effort. Looked at my watch and it was bang on 16 dead. So then immediately and the boys who I know will vouch for me on this, literally all I wanted to do for about 15 minutes was get somebody to get on their phone, get the live timing results up and see if it was gone under 16. And when the chip results come out, then it was a 15:59. And I was surprised the whole of Whitchurch didn't bloody hear me in the library. Because it was, because that's what you mean in terms of like, I would have been happy that I was done 16 dead and it would have been a PB for me. But the fact that it was a 15:59 get that and sub 16 bracket is like, it kind of blew my mind a bit. Do you know what I mean? But that's where the importance of seconds are. I know of, people who've missed out on goals, etc. this year by seconds, and it's gutting.
Can be gutting, like, even though, like you say, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot.
No.
It's massive as well.
I just don't understand how you can. I don't understand how pacers can do it either. How can you guarantee me you're going to run this in 23 minutes? I don't understand. You can't do it. It defies science.
Say you're pacing a 5K, like I've paced Puscola for you, a couple of the club members, and they wanted sub 40, so set off, and then you just work it out, don't you? For 4 minutes, right, we'll run 3:55s. It's like being an athlete. So then, obviously, I'm not extending myself then at that pace, but obviously, same for the pros. They're only running, and they're not extending themselves to what they're pacing. So that's how they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come pacers are pacers pros as well? Do they compete as well? Like if you can pace
in
Kipchoge, can't you just run the same?
A lot of them guys will be people that train with him, so know him well, know what he wants, know what rhythm, what pace for the first quarter, half, etc. So, but they'll be in races themselves and in their own merit. They're good runners. Like this weekend now is Valencia Marathon, and Jake Smith pacing the British boys there.
Yeah.
So it's not the British, it's the Paris Olympics qualifying time, 2:08. So I know he's pacing a chunk there for Phil Sesman and Johnny Mellor. So that'd be interesting. See if
he's on a comeback as well, Jake, isn't he? So keep an eye on Jake. It'd be nice to get him on as well if we could at some point.
Yeah, he's made a good comeback from that injury.
Right, dress in for the second mile. Something you taught me, I think, Nick, many moons ago. And something I've struggled with now is turned winter and I'm actually training and I'm out at 5:30, 6 in the morning in a beanie and gloves and a hoodie. And then by the time I get to the second mile, I'm like Dean Portman in the penalty box on Mighty Ducks. Just stripping off everywhere. But you can't start the first mile in vest and shorts.
You could if you're nuts, but no, it's a tricky one. Like for us, Nick, it's like especially on easier, slower runs, you need to start warm, and then you are, a mile or two in, take your jacket off, tie around your waist for efforts and that. Tomorrow down the state, we're going to maybe a club. I'd imagine we'll be in t-shirt when because we're hard and hard effort.
I'd probably say I'm a bit of a serial sweater when it comes to running, so I don't really wear a lot of layers at all. So today, for example, it's when I went for my run today, I think it's 4 degrees. I just went out in a t-shirt and gloves on. That was it. And I did get some looks. Yeah.
You were always in the t-shirt. And we go the other way, and you'll have Stevie all the way there tomorrow. He'll have
4 layers. 4 layers with his thing on as well. His defenders.
He's a cold man. He's a freezer in him.
Be there with his earmuffs tomorrow, and his pink earmuff.
He'll have 4 jackets on a G-Lay the lot.
Yeah, he will. But yeah, I don't really wear a lot of layers at all. And when I went out earlier today, I did get some looks from people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Started running past in a t-shirt, but I don't regret it at all because I felt so comfortable in terms of it wasn't sweating at all.
I mean, within a mile or so, you're warm.
Yeah, gloves get warm as well, don't they?
Yeah, your hand. Yeah.
I need them all, and my hands get freezing. I got an issue.
Yeah. I think I'm getting. I think on that bit, I think it's getting worse as I'm getting older. I mean, I feel the cold more now than I did probably 4 or 5 years ago. So I do wear gloves more often now when I'm running than I ever used to. But even some days I'll still be sweating like mad.
You have got a lot less insulation that you've lost over the years as well with your commitment to running as well.
Yeah. I often get told by my family that I'm a shell of the man I used to be.
Well, I'm sure there's a nice sentiment in there somewhere.
There is a sentiment in there somewhere, yeah, definitely.
Okay. What I've noticed recently as well is, and I can say this, I think, because I had a spin of being a running content creator at the start of the year, didn't I? Influencer, whatever you want to call it. But running influencers, content creators are starting to remind me of Alan Shearer when they're filming themselves. Because, the Alan Shearer celebration, the one arm in the air? And they're just running with their phone and it just looks like they've just scored a belter from 30 yards and they run into the centre half to find Rob Lee. I don't know, use a stick or something. Get some better footage.
You're throwing it back now with them names. Nicky went over there.
Alan Shearer, that's about it.
Alan Shearer's celebration, obviously, with one arm.
Yeah, I know that one, yeah.
They got their phone and they just looks like they're off looking for Darren Peacock to have a hug after scoring a belter from 30 yards. Use a stick or make better contact. I don't know. Work harder.
They need one of those Insta 360s, don't they?
Yeah, but some of the ones that are using their phone, I don't know. You've got 30,000 followers. Make a bit more effort. Like, do you know what I mean? Use that money. Buy yourself
invest a bit. Invest.
But yeah, invest. Right. Play over. Got this or that. Do you want it to fire out?
Right, Nick. We're going to have a little quick fire, this or that with you now. Just quick few questions, running related, this or that. Right, so number one, topical, because you've put it in the group today. K's or miles?
Kilometers.
Idiot.
It's where I started. That's how I started. So it's kind of like I've never changed it. That's the reason.
I know. Next one, a finisher tee or a lower fee?
Ooh. I do like a t-shirt because it stops me buying t-shirts. So I'd say it's t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one, a session or long run?
Oh, long run. Long run all day long.
All day long. Easier.
Literally all day long.
Shorts or half tights?
Shorts. Any bloke who wears half tights has got something wrong with them, in my opinion. How anybody can go out in half tights is beyond me.
He's getting all these wrong. Next one, pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Runner's knot or not?
A runner's knot. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I confess, I've never actually done a runner's knot before.
No, you don't use it.
No, I don't. I literally just lace up my trainers like I would my normal pair of kicks or whatever. So,
Game changer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to Google that.
Yeah. You don't know it either.
Nick, come inconsistent.
Sorry.
I've heard it mentioned, and I've never done it. I've never done it before.
Fast game changer.
Mine got Velcro.
Right, next one. No, that's Benky one. Next one, Nick. Summer or winter? For running.
For running?
Yeah.
Winter.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I like Welsh Castles relay this year. That was not fun.
that was too
the
much.
run was ridiculous.
That was too much. And last one, would you rather run the same loop every run or a treadmill?
Same loop.
Yeah.
I would probably go for that as well.
The thing is where I've just moved to, I don't really have a lot of choice because to kind of loop back to my house, I have to kind of go through the same sorts of streets in Brackla, etc.
Yeah,
so I got the same start and finish to my runs, my easy runs every day now. A bit like my stag, you've got just top road and bottom road, haven't you? So.
Exactly. Nice, mate. You got most of them wrong, but...
Right, unless we'll have a couple of the question and answers from Instagram and then we wrap it up.
Oh God, it's the worst bit now.
We keep it clean, which has been quite challenging with the Sunday Club members, I think.
I wonder why. I wonder who that's come from.
But what's the hardest race you've done?
That I can immediately think of. We just mentioned it. So Welsh Castles relay, as amazing as that weekend was, in terms of conditions to run, it was almost unbearable. I mean, Nick run leg 10, so he was off at like 4 in the afternoon. My leg was like midday.
Yeah, you was bad.
It was something like 29 degrees with 60% humidity, and I've never felt so drained after a run than that day, for whatever reason. The build up into it from my own training point of view wasn't great, but it was just so hot. Like, it was just unbearably hot.
It's not just that either. It's the route as well. And like people who Castles is such a tough relay race over 22 days, and like use leg 3, which is a mountain stage, and they're just ridiculous. Like.
Yeah, I think it was like, from what I've seen from other people's legs, I think for the mountain stages it wasn't the hardest, but the heat just got to me so bad. It was just crazy. I have nightmares about that run. The rest of the weekend is amazing though. I mean, what an event. You know, to go and to be part of this year. That's unbelievable, do you know what I mean?
Good. Right, we've got one. It's a good question, actually, from Ivan Holloway. Ivan it is, isn't it? Yeah. What advice would you give yourself as a 13-year-old who enjoys running?
Well, I didn't really enjoy running when I was 13, but if I went back, I mean, it's the constant thing you come back to, and I talk to people who I, kind of parked it and got back into it now recently, is like, the first thing you've got to be able to do, you've got to be able to enjoy it. You've got to enjoy what you do. You can't be going out there however many times you train, 2-3 times a week or whatever. You can't be going out there and going, oh, I don't like this. Oh, this isn't for me. Do you mean you've got to enjoy it first and foremost? If you don't enjoy it, put that energy you've got into something else. Do you know what I mean? I honestly don't think you can kind of get really good and get into it properly if you don't enjoy it.
No, that's fair.
We've all been in positions probably in the past where we've been in situations, etc., where you're doing something because you have to do it, not because you want to do it. Do you know what I mean? And you're not going to get satisfaction out of it. So I think the key thing you want to get involved with is being able to enjoy it. I think I enjoy going for a run. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if it's 15 miles or 3 miles, I enjoy the release it gives me and the space it gives me more than anything.
Yeah, especially at a young age like that, like just no pressure and
anything. Yeah, it's enjoyment, isn't it? Same with the football. I think like kids' football is, some of them are playing 4 or 5 nights a week at the moment. It's too much. You suck the enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
Then you're going to chuck it back, resent it.
Yeah.
Good. Are you ever going to shave your legs pre-race again?
Well, if I hold my bet to Steve Holloway that I will eventually do a triathlon one day, then I'll have to, won't I? Because you don't do a triathlon without shaving your legs, do you?
Well, I did.
Well,
same man, I did.
There you go. Maybe I take a page out of your books.
Yeah, I was going to say, Blackie, that's why we must have been rubbish.
Yeah. It's probably the surfing wetsuit I wore, to be honest.
Hey, if it got you through the event, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, I mean, never rule it out.
Never rule it out.
The question, right? Never rule it out.
There was a question as well about the podcast. Not a podcast, this is a podcast. 2 seconds, bear with me. Someone did ask who would hypothetically win in a triathlon out of the two Nickys.
Ooh. Well, I've never been on the bike with Nick. I've never been in the pool with Nick.
No, I was meant to as well, but we didn't really see too much of each other.
Hands down, it's him.
Yeah?
You are?
Hands down, it's you.
Me?
Yeah, you're in the pool a lot.
No, not recently.
You're a way quicker runner.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon you could be a bit of a hustler.
No, he's a hustler in everything he does.
That gravel bike, haven't you? You got that gravel bike, haven't you, Nick?
Yeah, which is in that shed, hardly used.
Yeah, well, that's what mine is at the minute as well. But
it's too cold for a bike.
I think we'll end it nicely. Actually, when's the Tash disappearing?
We're filming this on a Tuesday, so it'll be disappearing on the Friday.
Should be disappeared by the time it comes out. November, how much have we raised so far? We can pop the links everywhere for you as well. That's fine. You do it every year. So do you want to just finish on November, maybe?
Yeah, so obviously...
I'll push the boys, and they've done a great job.
Yeah, so I think this year we really smashed out the park. So Tom Mahoney, who's a good friend of mine, he's kind of our leader of the group, etc. So he does it every year and has done it for a couple of years. I think I've done it. I think this is the 3rd year. I think I've done it now. So is about a group of 10 or 12 of us who kind of get involved with it and grow or attempt to grow a moustache for the whole of November. Yeah. So trust me, see some of the boys. It is an attempt. It's not great. But I think this year we've raised over £2,000 already.
That's class.
Wow. Really, amongst 10 people, it's really, really good.
That's really good, boys.
Yeah, I think we've got now we've got on Thursday, we've kind of got a social run, all of us who kind of grown the moustache, etc. And we'll kind of meet up on the Thursday, and then it'll be gone on Friday.
Excellent.
It's Christmas then, isn't it?
Yeah, I did last episode. I did have a moustache, didn't I? And then my brother sent me a photo of Pete Doherty with a moustache looking really rough. So I shaved it off the next day.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a couple of people tell me recently I look like Freddie Mercury. So
that could be another new podcast. Who does Nicky look like with a moustache?
Yeah. Surprised that question didn't come in on the Q&A, to be honest with you.
There were a couple, but...
Does Nicky think he's Freddie Mercury?
There's a lot of bunny-related ones, but...
I wonder who they've come from.
Good, very good.
I'm not doing myself any favours today on that front.
Uh-huh.
I'm not doing myself any favours on that front. I shit out of a session with the boys today because my legs are still feeling a bit after cross-country.
It's all right. We've got to look after or listen to our bodies.
Exactly. I'm not compromising anything now. What are we, 10 days from Telford, Nick?
Yeah, something like that. It's not long.
10, 11 days, so not taking any chances now.
There we are. Excellent. Thank you very much for coming on, Nick. It's been a pleasure. Rolling up to nearly an hour. Good luck with Telford. Lovely to see you and your moustache. And I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, boys. I will speak to you all soon.
Yeah, cheers, Nick. I'll see you tomorrow.
You will see me tomorrow.
Well, fantastic. Nick, over to you.
Yeah, that is it for this week's episode 2. Hopefully you've all enjoyed again, and we will see you on a start line somewhere soon.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.